Okay. My main point, really, is this, Carl. Never will an anaconda or any constrictor, python, boa constrictor, just start eating a sleeping man. He will crush you to death first. That's why they're called constrictors. They're not called gobblers, are they? Or holy swallowers. They're called constrictors. Why would he start eating something? Is that how they take down antelope? Just start chewing their leg? Oh, it's gone off. I'll tell you what, lads. They get together. This next one there said, I'll tell you what, we're losing a lot of prey by just living at their ankles. They're running away. Let's crush them to death first so they can't move, then we can swallow them. You're a fool.
So anyway, right, so I was telling him this bit of information because we started a feature last week. Well, week before.
Sorry, Carl, can we just go back to the crushing you to death first?
Yeah, but, well, I read it.
He's won there. He's beating you there, Rick.
Okay. Did it say what to do if it starts crushing you to death first? No. Did it say what to do? If, supposing it had this meeting, and it started crushing you and you woke up and it was actually round your chest. And every time you tried to take a breath and breathed out a little bit, it just tightened its grip, because it can feel that. What'd you do then?
You sort of tighten yourself up anyway, because I've read about that.
Yeah.
If one does start wrapping around you, you sort of make yourself into a ball, first of all, and it'll wrap around you, but it's alright because you're protecting your lungs, so it can't crush you, and then you just sort of shout for help. And you
shout for help with this 30-foot snake. Do you know how it works? It gets as tight as it can. It can feel as tight, actually as tight as it can, right? With these huge muscles, right? Yep. Right? When you leave a bit of breath out, it tightens again.
You won't be that out of breath. You haven't been running anywhere, so you can just go.
What? And when do you get the new mouthful of oxygen?
Just breathe very slowly, like you do.
How? Do you know what breathing is? Do you know what breathing is? It's extending your rib cage, right? Intercostal muscles between the ribs. Contract like that. Okay, making the ribcage expand, which pulls air in through. It's like a bellow. That you can't just breathe via the mind. It's a physical process. It's your ribcage pulling over.
Maybe I'm special, but I can do little breaths without my ribcage.
Play a record, Steve.
You're special.
Play a record.
No.
You can't take little breaths without moving your ribcage.
Can I just give you the titles, because we're running out of time, we've got a competition to do.
Okay, alright, let's just leave the anaconda discussion. Why don't you agree to disagree, and we'll see who survives if you crash land in the jungle.
Right, so,
what is this? What are you doing now?
This is educating Ricky, right?
Oh, good, I'm gonna look forward to this.
Yeah. 3 topics that I teach you every week.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously, I should just remind people, you normally summarise each of these in a kind of bullet point heading, which you tease us with, so what have you, reduced them to this week? Right,
we've got, Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman. Good.
Yeah. What else have we got? We've also got, what else is it? It's not his vault. Yeah?
It's not what?
It's not his vault.
Okay.
Yeah? And we've also got, get a lobe of this.
Get a lobe of this?
Yeah.
Carl, they're genius. Rick will be choosing one of these after New Order.
Foo Fighters and All My Life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. So, just before we do educating, Ricky, this is where Karl thinks he can give me something of interest and teach me something to take away. Last week I found out that, somewhere in a strange land, people thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate them with lead. Things like that. What was the other one you told me?
What else was it last week? Bit of worms. Cut me off.
Yeah. Oh, I sent him a text message. I was on the train, a bit bored, and, I read in, I think it was Metro, scientists have found out that, worms get stressed, and they found out that, the fat ones, didn't live as long. And when they checked the thin ones that lived longer, they found out they had a gene for de-stressing them. Right? Carl, do you remember what you said?
No.
He went, well, that's stupid, isn't it? He said, did these other ones die of natural causes? I went, yeah. He went, alright. Because it could be that the fat ones couldn't get off the pavement quick enough and got squashed. So maybe the scientists go, yeah, we didn't. Yeah, they come to think of it, they were flat as well as fat.
I think the reason that the worms are getting stressed is because people like Carl are cutting them in half to try and make 2 snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two worms.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
That's the concern.
He said they can't even commit suicide if they're stressed by cutting their throat. I also sent what I thought was quite interesting, that the scientists have found that the elephant hasn't got the best memory. The sea lion has,
Right.
based on they've got a sea lion and they got it back into the old laboratory 10 years after it taught it a simple trick, and it could still do the trick. What did you say to that, Carl?
I'd say they don't go up to much anyway, so if you do teach it something, it is going to remember it.
Sure.
Because it's got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it also, I mean, I like sea lions, they look nice and everything, but what do they do?
What was that? Sea lions?
Yeah, what are they here for? It's another jellyfish, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, it's there and people know about them, but what do they do?
Yeah. What does
What
a
do we
cat
do? What do we do, Carl?
Well,
what do we do?
A cat, first, Steve said, is good for your heart. So you
Why is it all geared to what's good for us?
well. Anyway.
Educating Ricky.
Good, we've settled that then. Go on.
The titles that are meant to sort of pull you in.
Yeah.
We've got what was it? Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Yeah.
You've got It's Not His Vault. And Get a Load of This.
Get a load of this. So, which pun do I pick first? I think I'll go for, get a load of this.
Get a lobe of this.
Yeah, get a load of this, yeah.
Well, that's a story about a girl who she was deaf, right, for 4 years, and it happened quite a bit back this.
What year? Or was it,
About-
what,
I think it was
specific ages ago, was it?
About yeah, quite a bit back. She was deaf for about 4 years, having an argument with her mum, it said, which I didn't quite understand, because I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
But she was having an argument,
Well-
and a man pushed her against a wall, and she banged her head, and her hearing came back.
Okay.
Was she wearing a Walkman? And it fell out? And she'd realised, well, oh, that's
There's
why.
no explanation.
There's no explanation. Well, why is that teaching me something
Right,
then?
so I knew you'd say this, right? So I thought, right, I'll stick something on it. Do you know that bees are deaf?
No! No, you can't just, no! No. If
No.
you ask someone something they don't know the answer to, they don't tell you something else. Just, I'll tell you something else then. I can't answer that, I'll tell you something else. Imagine that. If you asked a teacher. Look. How do birds fly? Wow, if you're gonna do that. Tallest building is, I mean, what?
Well,
That was the equivalent, Carl, of running away when we asked you a question.
Yeah, the intellectual equivalent of going, look over there, there's a monster.
Yeah.
Listen, what do you mean? What she, okay, so, oh.
So her
There's
hearing
no
came back.
explanation. There's no explanation. Or you don't know.
well, there isn't one, is there, really? It's a bit
What,
weird.
did,
But the
doctors,
only
did
thing
the
that-
doctors not look into it?
No, I think they just said, oh, that's good.
But, so again, I don't. Where did this information? Is that if you read this on
Is
the net?
that
Is that
it?
all they put on
There
the
was
net?
once a deaf woman who hit her head and she
And her
could hear.
hearing came back.
It was bizarre things about being deaf.
Was there
and-
three
Oh,
like?
yeah.
Was there
I've
sort
got
of-
that book, yeah, it's a good book, that.
Was there three
Yeah.
more pages you just couldn't be bothered to read on?
Yeah.
No, it was just a little bit, and it
Was there a
said-
little picture, a cartoon picture?
No pictures, I just
And we
read
going,
it.
ow.
Look,
Ow,
if you
I
don't
can
want to
hear.
know, if you don't want to learn, you know.
Yeah. Okay, it's not his fault. Let me have It's Not His Fault. You gotta save this. This has gotta teach me something. It'll be an interesting story.
Right, It's Not His Vault. This fella,
Yeah.
What year? Ages ago?
Olden times.
I'd say in the 70s,
Okay.
Would you? Any evidence for that?
and
Does he wear flares in the story?
Right,
Is that
so-
your reason?
no, it's a bit like Yuri Geller, this fella, right, where he's electric,
He's electric.
and if he walks past the telly would fizz.
Uh-huh.
If he walked past the radio, it all goes like that.
Oh.
His hair stuck up all the time, and he'd be having a bath, and everything would be all right, and then the power would sort of switch on in his body, and the electric in his body made him jump out of the bath. So,
What do you mean so? What is that so? What does that so mean? You've given us nothing. You've given us nothing.
You'd have to at least give us the scientific explanation.
Yeah.
electric eels have 400 volts in them.
Oh, is this the running away again?
What was that one called?
Yeah, but but
It's not his vault.
but there's a reason that not his fault. It's not his fault. I thought it was going to be something about keeping it in a safe.
I think we should do these the other way round. I
It's
think you
not
should
his
tell us
fault.
the story and then we'll hear the pun.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Right, let's leave it.
Play a tune.
Forget it.
Educating Ricky.
Doing it. We're not doing it.
No, we are. Oh.